but I'll talk to you tomorrow, I said. And I went home and I started thinking, that's brilliant. Then I came to know, we have interpreted the poem based on a very flimsy assumption that the king has something to do with that grain of gold. There is no connection. Where is it in the text? Deconstruction is a literary theory, all of you know that. Derrida's. Yeah. He says there is nothing outside the text. There is nothing. Proof, can you show me somewhere in the poem it is mentioned that the king is responsible for changing the grain into gold? It is nowhere mentioned. I caught hold of that point, then developed this paper out of it. I found what we usually do as readers is, we don't ask in a poem. We say that once it is written, it is to be believed. Anything people come and say, yeah, it is true. How do you know? Because it was there in the newspaper. As if it is the last word of everything. Once it is printed, then over. That is the strength of every writer. They know that writing carries a lot of credibility. And credibility is very bad for literature readers. Don't carry it to classrooms. It will destroy many such beautiful brains. So I felt the king stands for a capitalist. And the beggar is a working class. I felt like giving it a Marxist reading. And it came out very well, for me at least. Those points, unknowingly.
And is it your deconstructive idea?
Yeah?
And is it your deconstructive idea?
Yeah.
But then you capitalist
Kingdom. When the king is traveling by golden chariot, and when there is a beggar, who is responsible for it? You are making fun of him, asking him for alms. It is mockery of his poverty. You are responsible for it. Behind which lurk in ambush as many bourgeois interests. This was Communist Manifesto says. The poem, an extract from Gitanjali, is popularly and chiefly read as one which reiterates the faith of an ignorant and selfish beggar in the infinite grace of the divine. This is how it is usually read. These readings have merely favored, knowingly or unknowingly, the interests of the injustice to many pivotal questions. A child should know that we can attack a poem. Have you watched the Dead Poets Society, the movie? Must have watched. Classroom and says, come on, we're going to learn poetry today. And all the students have very thick, poetry anthology with them. And they all open the first page. Because the first page is like some 20 or 50 pages. Somebody has written an explanation to all the poems. Okay. They tear it and he says, throw it into the dustbin. We don't want somebody's explanation. He becomes the most favorite of all the students. But of course, the system doesn't want him. We all face that crisis. The system wants all conformists, people who really say that examination is the ultimate thing. Don't enjoy literature. I tell my children, I can't teach literature like science. How many stanzas are there? Count each stanza, rhyming words. Can't do that for higher classes. Every lesson needs a mood or a style of teaching. You can't teach a humorous poem being very serious. You can't teach any poem by Nissi Meseki becoming very serious. Night of the Scorpion, you must have read a poem by Nissi Meseki. I asked my students, did you ever laugh when you read the poem? No, it's a very serious poem. I said, you missed the bus. It's a very funny poem it is. It's not serious at all. In fact, he laughs at all the serious people. Osho Rajneesh says seriousness is a disease. The beggar is a servile flatterer or submissive citizen who is made to look aghast at the magic performed by the ruling class to exploit the ruled. Using the ruled against themselves is a common strategy of fascists or capitalists. A citizen like the beggar who fails to ask questions of economic and political justice is the backbone of capitalist exploitation. All questions of the ruled class are silenced by diplomatic moves by them. When there is a burning issue, they can always divert your attention to something else, and you forget all that. We are so much tuned to the headlines. Once there was a news in Times of India. Saif Ali Khan and Katrina married. Kareena Kapoor married. This was the front page news. That day it was very difficult to get newspapers in the market. Even Saif couldn't get one copy. There was no news. Kareena married. And for detailed news, see page number 6. And they had stapled it, So all of them bought the newspaper, and it was written April Fool. Then they saw the date. Yeah, it was April 1st. And you can't give it back to the shopkeeper, I'm sorry. They can do all that with us. We are there, ready to be exploited. Come on. The beggar is somebody like that. Yes. Sir,
For the students are there.
very good. Somebody asked me the same question. Each poem demands a style. Neruda has written so many love poems. I don't say that we should demonstrate in the classroom, but the way of teaching Neruda has to be very different from teaching an Octavia Paz or, Sarojini Naidu or those old writers. Correct? Each poem demands a style of teaching. I don't believe there is one particular method. So a teacher has to be a very flexible person. You should dance and sing in the classroom. It may break their, conditioning. How can a teacher be like this? We believe that teacher is a catalyst. There is an experiment going on in the class. We just support them. In the process, we interact. Correct? Go through this writing. I think it's time for me to shut my mouth. So, yeah.
What we are has to be implemented.
This is a very good example. When I came to Bangalore, sir, what are you going to do for the students of Kathmandu? I said, let me reach there, then I'll decide. How do I know how those students are? Let me go to the classroom, interact with them, get the thought stream, then I'll decide what I should do. I'm not going with the ready-made packages today. Please feel free to interact. I wanted to share so many things, but yeah, they are stopping me there. You can.
Why did you choose just this Rabindranath's poem? Because there are many other
That we carry about us. Then there is one
sick of his. I mean, he received this Nobel Prize, but that doesn't mean he's a great. I mean, I write is like.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
What the poem's theme demands, Even Upagupta can be we can deconstruct that poem very well. Why don't you take it up? You can do a feminist reading of it. So we always carry the same old thing. Tagore means very spiritual person, so the poem is also spiritual.
Yes, sir, that is what we are still doing. We are just flowing the same thing.
I think we should come out of it.
That what we did, this is a stage.
So they will start thinking, no, I can approach this poem from a different angle. There is a poem called Lord Alin's Daughter, which is prescribed for CBSE. It's again another, only that folder.
Yeah, I can't read it because I will provide you email address. You can download it in your file, so you can download it.
पहिला त्यहाँ इन्स्ट्रक्सन दिन जस्तो लाग्छ
What I have to do.
Your email address so that if I didn't find your presentation, send it.
I'll be forwarding you all the answers.
Oh, I teach in university. So currently it is at my college in data.
दिदी
It's interesting to get it from university. Okay, thank you very much for coming.